Hey, this is Kyle at Projection Hub again, and today I'm going to be going over our SBA Loan Application Readiness Checklist, which is a free tool that we've come up with that outlines things from what type of SBA loans are there, where should you get an SBA loan, what items do you need for your SBA loan, what does the process typically look like, what are tips to increase your chances of getting approval. I'm going to show off that checklist here in just a second and give you a little bit of information about it, but first off, who is Projection Hub and why should you listen to us when it comes to SBA loan applications? We've helped more than 50,000 small businesses create their loan applications, and a very large chunk of those have been for their SBA loan applications. And me personally, I was an SBA loan officer for almost 7 years before I came to Projection Hub. So helped a lot of businesses prepare their loan applications, package their loan applications, go through underwriting, approvals, denials, everything in between, as well as our founder, Adam. He was an SBA lender executive director for over a decade. And so his experience has guided a lot of what we do at Projection Hub and how we help businesses. So if you have any questions during this video, reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com, comment on the video. If you like the video and appreciate it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. That really helps us as a fellow small business. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the SBA Loan Application Checklist. All right, guys, and here we have the SBA Loan Application Checklist, just like I was talking about. And, real quick, what this video is not going to be is I'm not going to take you through the entire SBA kind of process and preparation for that. We do have a video, several videos that do that, in fact, depending upon what's been published at this point, that goes into much greater detail on any one of these sections, preparing the different documents and different things like that. And, we'll link the relevant ones down below, but check out our channel and our website if you're curious to learn more of that. But this is kind of our best attempt at trying to put a lot of the helpful information about finding an SBA lender and preparing for that application process in one place. Now, there are other checklists out there. They're great, I'm sure, but typically a lot of them are done by a specific lender. And so it's going to be specific to their loan application process. We are not an SBA lender. We just have a lot of experience working with businesses going for SBA loans at a lot of different places and reviewing a lot of SBA loan applications in general. And so this is kind of a wide range of experience to try and apply to a wide range of SBA loan applications. And so I'm just going to go through some of the different sections here to highlight what's included in here. Again, if anything jumps out to you that you have a specific question about, contact us at support@projectionhub.com. You can live chat on our website. You can also comment on this video and we will get back to you on YouTube. And so, yeah, let's just talk about what's included in here from top to bottom. So first off, we kind of start with talking about picking the right type of SBA loan. Now, most people that are trying to get an SBA loan may have never even heard of the SBA. They probably didn't hear about it until PPP because of COVID. But in general, they still may not be familiar with that. So the SBA is the Small Business Administration. That's a federal department or agency that basically takes taxpayer money and helps fund and back up different types of loan products through different types of lenders to help those lenders get more comfortable making those loans. So a business that may not qualify for a conventional loan at a bank where they're lending their deposits to that person, the SBA might say we'll take some of the risk and that lender might get more comfortable making that loan. So in general, that's how an SBA loan is going to work. But there's different types for different types of businesses. Again, in this video, I'm not going to go into great detail on that. We have some other videos about that, but you can kind of see the different types that exist. In general, it's microloans, 7A loans, and 504 loans, 7A loans being the most common that people would be familiar with. But if you get this checklist, I urge you to look into microloans, especially if you're a startup or a small business. Microloans are really, really great and definitely worth checking out. So it talks about that. We also go into pretty good detail here finding an SBA lender. So I encourage you, if you're working with an SBA loan broker, a lot of times they're going to be incentivized by what type of finder's fee they're going to collect from a lender. And so they may not always just be trying to find the best lender for you. Different lenders, specialize in different industries and different stages of business, and some lend to startups and some don't. And so there's a lot of different options out there. And we've talked about the different types of loans, and this tries to give you different resources to find different types of lenders. But of course, please reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com. Again, we're not a lender. We don't even get a fee for helping people find the right lender, but we can help point you in the right direction. But that's what this section is. We've got a video here. You can see it linked up here as well. That breaks down that process a little bit, as well as a lot of different links here to help you find the right lender. We go into kind of the typical SBA loan process. We say typical because this is going to be a little different no matter where you go. So, you have banks that participate in SBA loans. A lot of them participate in SBA loans. Their process is going to be a little bit more standardized. It's going to follow the typical process that the bank does for any loan with some added flavor in there to meet the SBA criteria. But it's in general going to be relatively rigid. If you work with a micro lender, which are a lot of these smaller community lenders, a lot of them are nonprofits in many cases. But those smaller loans, $50,000 and less, $75,000 and less, they're going to be very different from lender to lender. Their loan may not even be an SBA loan; it might just be a similar process. But yeah, their process might look a little different. But I think in general, this is pretty good, right? Every lender is going to have their own lender intake application. You're going to have a conversation with a loan officer, talk about all the details of your business. You're going to submit your documentation. There's going to be underwriting. There's going to be a committee review. There's probably going to be additional SBA forms depending on what kind of SBA loan you're trying to get, and then ultimately a closing. So this gives you a rough idea, but I encourage you to ask your loan officer about their process more specifically, depending upon who you talk to. And then the main kind of meat of this checklist, and probably the inspiration for this checklist, is going to be the documents. So we have this split up between startups, which if you follow this little line, goes up here, right? So startups is down here and up at the top of this page. And then for an existing business, and then in the case of an acquisition. And then lastly, these are just kind of like I don't want to call them wild card, but these won't be required in every single loan application, but depending upon your specific loan request and your business type and the structure of your loan, different things will need to supplement that. So maybe one kind of key takeaway is that you can't prepare for everything your lender's going to ask you for, but you can prepare for a big chunk of the core documents they want to see. And those are really what are listed in these sections, right? Every lender has their own application, but personal financial statement, tax returns for personal and business if it's an existing business, a business plan, financial projections if it's a startup or an acquisition, or an existing business that's expanding, you're going to need those things. Probably not a business plan, but at least projections for an existing business that's expanding. You're going to fill out a credit release form, an ID, different things like that are pretty standardized. And the great thing, I don't even know if I mentioned this, the great thing about this checklist is all of these little things here are links to resources, mostly, I think, free tools for the most part. We plug some of our products and services in here, but it's obvious where we've done that. And then we link to some YouTube videos that guide you to learn more or talk more about that. Like for an acquisition, creating financial projections for an acquisition is a very specific process. And so there's a YouTube video there that we've done that walks you through how to do that. Or if you need to do due diligence and lots of different things. And at the end of this, we've got some additional things to help you prepare some expectations for getting SBA loan. We have another video that talks about kind of the 8 key points to increase the likelihood, or 8 key ways to increase the likelihood of getting approved for an SBA loan. So we can link that as well. Encourage you to check that out as you're preparing for your loan application. So grab this checklist. It's down in the description below. I'm probably linked here on the video somewhere. Totally free. Now, not every single thing that's linked in this is necessarily free, but for the most part, they are. They're either free tools or they're specific sources of information so you can learn in detail about some of these things. But we really hope this helps you feel comfortable as you prepare for your loan application. But again, reach out to us at support@projectionup.com. Leave us a comment if we can help you on any facet of your specific SBA loan journey. And that's not a sales pitch. There's a lot of things we can point you in the right direction of that are totally free of charge. And like this video, if you appreciated it and you grabbed the checklist and that's something that you're using, consider subscribing to the channel. But we will catch you on the next one. Thanks.